Alright everybody, today we are finishing our lab report. I had to go run and deal with my car. Long story, I'll tell you about it later. But I could not be here for the second half of class today. So for our lab report, here's what we're going to do. We're going to finish it. I'm going to walk you through everything you need to do here. So you should already have your intro done. If you do not have your intro done, or if you were gone, ask somebody to take a look at theirs, or ask them what you need. You can also check out this list right here. You need these 4 things in your intro. So next up we have materials. So for materials, you can literally just delete this and write none. Normally I wouldn't say to write none for the materials, but literally in this case, we didn't really have any. Next up, procedure. Okay, it says this section is written in paragraph format. Procedure is a detailed statement, step by step, of how the experiment was performed. Do not include numbered steps, just explain the steps you took to do the experiment. Your explanation should be clear enough so that anyone who is reading your lab report could replicate the experiment. Be sure to include amounts of substances used, how you set it up, etc., etc. Notice in the last part here it says it must be written in third person, so you may not use I, we, or you in this section. Alright, so typically that's how lab reports are done. So let me show you what you might write here. So remember, be super detailed, pretend you are talking to, I don't know, somebody from another planet who has no idea how to do anything, alright? And you need to tell them how to do this experiment. So for procedure, I would say something like, let's see, 30, or write however many people, 30 subjects were interviewed or sampled, okay? Now you'll talk about how your subjects actually, like who your subjects were. So the subjects aged in range from 10 to 20 or 35. If you don't know that, that's fine, because I didn't ask you to get that, okay? But if you know that they're all high school students, you could write that, okay? And we're all from Kenosha, Wisconsin. If you did it all from kids with Tremper, okay, you could write that they're all from Tremper. All right. Let's see. After you said they were interviewed, or you could say they were asked whether or not they had this trait or whatever, you could write down that you collected the data. Okay, so you were interviewed, subjects here. So subjects were asked if they had a hitchhiker's thumb, and then you could just write data was recorded. Now I'm going to delete this really fast because I don't want you writing this exact same thing, okay? If you end up using I, we, or you, that's fine. I'm not going to be super stickler on this, because we're not publishing this, but typically they don't write it in using I, we, or you. So the example down here says we took the temperature every 2 minutes. Well, typically they would say the temperature was taken every 2 minutes. All right, next up, results. So the first thing I want you to do is this table here. Okay, we are going to get rid of a third column here. So highlight this third column, right click or double tap on the Chromebooks, okay, just say delete column. And then you're going to, and then we probably need to delete this, delete the rows, 2 rows, and then you're going to put down, you know, like hitchhiker's thumb, no hitchhiker's thumb, okay, and then you probably want to put like 4 and 26 or whatever. Oh, I messed that up. All right? And then, I don't know, number of people. Okay, so you want to include a table, all right? So we have our table, okay? Then it says this is where you summarize your data. Do not include charts in this part of the lab. These will be included at the end, okay? Again, we're not going to be super sticklers about that. You can leave your chart right here. That's fine. So in this section, you're not saying why something happened. You're just reporting the data. Pretend you are a robot and can only read the data. You cannot say why something happened. You can only read and calculate numbers. For example, you could write the following. At day 3, the bean plant was the tallest with a height of 8 inches. At day 3, the rose plant was the shortest with a height of 4 inches, yada, yada, yada. Okay? So what could you write? You could write, let me just enter this down. Okay? You could write that, let's see, 26 people had hitchhiker's thumb, 4 people did not. What I would do is I'd also include percent. So remember, percent is part over whole. So we had 26 people, but we had 30 people total. So I'll take 26 divided by 30. Okay, so that's 86%. So I'll write 86%. Okay, and then 4, I would do the same thing. You could also write like more people had hitchhiker's thumbs than straight thumbs. 26 people had hitchhiker's thumb, 4 people did not. Okay? So our results section is not going to be very big. So that's okay. And then conclusion. Okay? So for our conclusion here, first sentence must be state whether your experiment confirmed or rejected the hypothesis. Okay? So our hypothesis was correct because more people had hitchhiker's thumbs than not. Okay? Now you can talk about why you think this was the case or not. All right. So for example, down here it says if your hypothesis was confirmed, you could say something like perhaps our hypothesis is confirmed because bean plants are able to take up more nutrients than rose plants and therefore can grow faster. If it was rejected, you could say, well, we thought the rose plant would grow the fastest. Bean plant actually grew the fastest. Okay. Typically, they'll do more research here. All right. So what I want you to add in is see if you can add in another fact here. Okay. So if you found that your trait was a myth, okay, which is fine. We're just pretending it's not for this study. You could write that there, okay, but I want you to include something else. So either you have to talk about why you think this happened, okay, or include another fact, something, okay. I know this isn't the greatest lab report here because we don't have a ton of stuff, but that's okay. And then citations, okay. So you guys have your website. So you're going to go to, I think I added this after you guys opened your thing, so you don't have this. So Citation Machine, or you can just Google Citation Generator. So what you're going to do is we're just going to go to MLA Citation. So click on that. I'm just going to pull up a website that I can use. I don't know. Tree frogs. Why not? So here we go. National Wildlife Federation. Okay, so notice it says book, magazine, newspaper, website. We need to click on website. Okay, so we click on website and we just take our website. Remember I said you had to copy and paste it? So we just take it and we just paste the URL and we hit search. Okay, so it said it found this, so we hit select. All right, and it's telling you all the info it found, the URL, the title, etc. So we need to go to final step. Okay, so it says the title. Now here's the thing, you can't just click OK. You got to check and see if you can add anything else here. Okay, so it says article title. Tree frogs, yep. Okay. Now it says author. Let's see if it has an author. Typically if it has an author, it'll be right below the title. Okay. I'm not seeing an author here. Website title. Let's see the publisher. So the publisher is down at the bottom by the copyright. So here's the little copyright. Publisher says National Wildlife Federation. National Wildlife Federation. Okay. When was it published? Okay. So let's see here. We're going to put its publication date as its copyright, so 2017. So we're just going to put 2017. All right. So you need to go back and make sure that all of these things are correct and that you fill in everything you can. So then you're going to hit Create Citation. Okay. Here's your citation in this pink. All right. So what you can do is you copy this, Control-C, or tap with 2 fingers. And you're going to put your citation down here, okay? So make sure before you turn this in, you have your citations. Delete any of the paragraph info that I had in here, all right? Proofread it, okay? And then just make sure you have everything included. Again, this lab report is really tiny. Okay, normally this would be like paragraphs and pages. I'm not going to make you do that. This is just for us to learn. Understand that some of these traits, it might say it's a myth. They might be controlled by multiple genes. That's okay. We're just doing this to learn how to do a lab report because the next lab report you guys do is going to be on your own. Okay, so the rest of the time you need to finish this. I know I went through that really quickly. All right, but the rest of the time you need to finish this. Turn it in. If you don't get it done, you got to do it for homework. If you don't have your data, you got to do it over the weekend. Okay. It's going to be due, Sunday night. Okay. So if you have any questions, you can email me, or ask somebody else in the class. All right. Have a great day. I will see you all on Monday.